been done before, but I'm kind of doing a preview. Okay, Rohana's here. I'm doing a preview of my book before it is actually published. And I've been associated with Frederick's Goa 1556 for quite a while, mostly as a cover designer and an illustrator. And he's been after me to write and get my writing published, so I'm finally doing it.
Making it to listen to Bina's new work in progress. We're lucky to get a sneak peek. Bina is actually a very accomplished art director. She was head of design at Walt Disney. She's had a long and illustrious career in advertising. And so that wealth of experience she's now mobilizing in her writing. And I love how the work she's going to preview for us is not just about the written text but also very visual as well. She has picked a very interesting story, or maybe the story picked her, because it's been in her body for like 10 years, for such a long time, more than 10 years. More than 10 years, and that's a long time to hold an interest, to hold a project. It means that the tentacles have kind of, immersed themselves really deep within you and you within the project as well. So, Bina, why did you pick the story of someone who has such little privilege? The story of I don't know if you've mentioned to them. So Bina is working on the story of a woman who's a diver. And she's not this glamorous diver who dives into, crystal clear or blue waters with really colorful corals like we've seen Finding Nemo. But actually she's a commercial diver who cleans the bottom of fishing vessels in really horrible toxic water. So it's actually dirty work, and what Bina told me was that they're like the sweepers of the oceans, doing the dirty work that nobody else wants to do, and yet it's such a highly skilled profession. And it's the underside of the glamorous scuba diving image that we have when we say divers. So why this story, and what is it about diving that interests you, and about this particular woman?
So yesterday when you asked me why did I write this story, I gave you a whole lot of random answers, like, I want to show Goa like from a local perspective. I want to show Goa that's very different from tourism brochures. The story is set in Goa, but that's just the icing. It's just the wrappings of the main story. The base is really about this woman who is obsessed about the work she does, and how society is not okay with that. Yes, women can do their work, whatever it is, but it always has to be, and you have to have one eye on the house, on the kid, so you can't have your head in work all the time. And that's something which is very close to my heart, because it happens to me. I tend to get obsessed with my work. And being in advertising, and as Kaji here will also tell you, it's a lot of dirty work that we do. We get a lot of shit thrown to us, and we have to just sift through it and try and make it look good, try and make it sound good. So that's the parallel that I felt between the work that I continue doing in advertising and the work that Tara, who's the protagonist, does in her life. Because again, when you tell people you're in advertising, they say, oh, you must be meeting all these fancy models, you must be meeting all these actors. But no, you do meet them, but you're doing, some real shit things about them. So it's not like it's only glamorous. There's a very boring and a very dirty side to it. It's a lot of hard work which needs to be done. So even same with diving, I wanted to show the other side of it, not just the very impressive and, like you said, the crystal blue waters. It's the dirty work that very often we think, when people drown, for instance, because it's in Goa, and this is something that I actually looked into when I was doing some work for GDC. When tourists drown, you always think that it's the Navy divers who come and rescue or get the bodies out. But very often it's outsourced to these commercial divers, because that's dirty work. So they're literally like the Dalits of the diving thing. So they will be doing the dirty work. So Tara in this book that I'm writing is a diver who has to, do the real dirty work of fishing out dead bodies and scraping the bottoms of cargo vessels when they are dried up. And she works in MPT.
What is MPT?
MPT is monoga. So the ships that are docked there, there's a lot of welding that is required. Then she has to fix leaks in sewage pipes. So it's really dirty work. It's like keeping the Mandovi clean. And so that's the kind of work she does. And how does she cope with it? Now it's kind of similar to being like a grave digger or sewage cleaner. And she has to, like some of her colleagues, they are into drinking. She's into a bit of doping, and being in Goa where it is also easily available, what happens then? And how it kind of, how the clash between the modernity and the tourism that's happening, how it clashes with the traditional Goa. And another thing I wanted to do was, I find that there are very few stories about, Goan Hindu women. When you say Goa, it's always a Catholic girl. And coming from a Hindu background, which is not necessarily traditional, but is still traditional, I realized that the Goan Hindu women in Goa don't have as many freedoms as the Goan Catholic women when it comes to work and stuff like that. So I wanted to bring those conflicts up.
As you were talking, I was just thinking, I want to stop her and ask about all these really interesting ambivalences and many threads in there that can be unpacked further. So firstly, I want to ask about that really rich thing you pointed to about the diving being work. So it's labor, it's hard work, it's drudgery, but it's also something that you can be obsessed with. You gave your own examples, and we all, I guess, can identify with really being immersed in work, finding pleasure and joy and satisfaction in it. But that doesn't mean it's not hard work and labor. So I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about that kind of.
So what usually happens, again, a lot of it is from my personal experiences. It's whether it's society or friends or your family, it's the minute you are obsessed about certain work or you're engrossed in it and it's taken a lot of time, the first question they'll ask you is, how much are you going to get out of this? How much are you going to make out of this? And they find it very difficult to believe that you just like doing it. Yes, money comes, yes, all of that, but it's always down to, why can't, and then you ask, so what else would you want me to do? Like, if you think that this time is not being utilized well, then what else is a better thing? It's not like they're telling you, get a better project or, go get a job. It'll be like, instead of doing this, why can't you, like, look, there's dust on your windows. You can insert any random thing there. The sugar's over.
That impulse to further domesticate and pigeonhole and constrict your.
So that's kind of one of the things that I faced. So you could be doing something really important and you'll say, but
so all that's feeding into the work that you're writing. I also wanted to ask about this idea that you brought up, which is really important and doesn't really get talked about too much. It's about how do we cope with something that's really traumatic that you have to deal with to earn a living, I suppose. So, truck drivers that have to drive thousands and thousands of kilometers and meet really tight deadlines, need external stimulants to keep them going, otherwise, they lose jobs, etc. But so that's just one example. But take any profession.
I wouldn't say the things that the protagonist does are ideal, nor would I say it's what I do, but how I cope is I have recently started meditating. And I run a lot, so that's also like meditation. I swim a lot, which is why the obsession with water. So you need to kind of, you have to, yes, that obsession happens, but you have to slip out of it. And that slipping out may not necessarily be into housework, because that's going to be worse, So maybe you just need to do something else. So that kind of thing.
They say a clean house is a sign of a sick mind.
Absolutely. And even my style of illustrating.
But what's the logical?
Dirty houses are how
actually cluttered. Maybe cluttered. It's not dirty, it's cluttered. So if it's absolutely clean, that person has OCD. I don't want to be with that person. But if it's cluttered, you know somebody's thinking.
Yes.
That's
No,
clutter.
nothing against clean houses. If you like clean houses, great.
Cleanliness is great.
Can't clean
Clutter is a different thing.
It's a point of view.
No, it's just true.
It's scary when two women say they don't like clean
Yes.
houses. All the men get scared.
You shouldn't clean a writer's house because you don't know what is precious.
Exactly.
What is not precious.
Or an
Very
artist's
young.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, all the secrets that are there. So can you tell us how you kind of zoomed in on this one particular character? Did you think of others, or was this the first character that
It was kind
came
of
fully formed?
It was natural to me because I've always fantasized about being some major diver. I do dive, but it's like from a swimming pool. And I've done snorkeling. I've not yet done scuba, but I had like read up so much about the subject, and when I thought of doing this, somehow diving was the first thing that went to me. I didn't do it. I dive. I do sort of some small sort of free diving. But it's more the obsession with the sea and being a coastal person.
Yes.
And I've always lived beside the sea, and I've always lived beside a swimming pool. So, like, not a single day that I've not been away from it.
So water is a big part
Water is a big part.
of your own life, which is then kind of seeped through into your fiction and your art, your illustrations. Okay, so would you like to show us
I'll
your
just,
PowerPoint and then do a reading? How much time do we have?
Another 15.
That's fine.
So I'll just show some of the, this is the cover. I've already, like what I do with Frederick is sometimes we do covers 5 years in advance before the manuscript is ready. So yeah, you can change. So this is
Before we go to that, why the title? Starfish Pickle. It's a really
there's a
captivating title.
Yeah, so there's a lot of starfish that happens in the book. Like Tara, because she dives, she collects starfish. And if you go to the aquarium stores, and like there's one lane in Panjim where you can get them. They're quite expensive if you buy a live starfish. So when she dives, she sometimes steals corals, she sometimes gets starfish out. And she has aquariums in which she grows them, and she maintains marine fish. So
Oh yes.
yeah, that's why the name.
Oh,
So
you knew that. Yeah, so maybe some new.
No, in fact,
I just picked it up.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
So the starfish and the pickle, because pickle is some it's a
Preservation,
yeah,
and
there is I don't want to reveal the whole thing, but there's
But there are also literary resonances. Arundhati Roy, Salman Rushdie.
nothing of the sort.
But there's a long history of writing
okay.
about, thinking about pickle and preservation and that. So you're kind of also, maybe not deliberately, but being part of a long tradition of writing about pickles and preservation. Okay, over to you, Julia. Show us some.
So I'll just take you all to the illustrations first. So this is Tara. Then since the book is based in Goa, like every chapter, there are a whole lot of illustrations about Goa. So this is Tara's house.
Can you tell us a bit more about the illustrations and what medium?
Yeah, so I do pen and ink, and then I scan them and work on them in Photoshop. And in the book they will appear as black and white, which is there a little later in the presentation. Frederick and me, we've decided to do postcards, which will go free with the book. You'll get a set of 12 postcards. And I'll have these posters on my site, and all of you can download them for free. I actually have them here. At some point I got a little bored drawing because it's very time consuming. So then I took some of my own photographs and cheated and worked on it in Photoshop.
Oh, familiar size actually.
Just continue. Saligaw. Tara lives in Saligaw. And interestingly, Frederick told me that there is a deep sea diver, a girl, Dean DeCruz's daughter, who is from Saligaw.
The significance of the previous picture with the lady upside down.
This is a scene that happens in the movie where there are two I'm already thinking of movies.
Yeah, the prequel, the movie, the sequel.
Yeah, whatever is a Disney habit. So this happens in the book where there are two bloated bodies that kind of surface after a trance party. Yeah, so this is the starfish pickle. This is Tara actually being pickled. Yeah.
This is a temple.
Yeah, this is Shanta. These are all based on chapters. So there's some chapters have 2 illustrations, but there's one per chapter for sure. This is how they will look in the book, where they'll just be black and white.
Oh, come on, man. We can color.
I know.
Like very soft.
I like black and white. Actually, I did the color bit only because he told me let's do postcards and color postcards do better.
Black and white is raw. See it?
Yeah. It does look better.
I actually wanted, I don't know if we have the time, but to just kind of press you on that particular issue about when we think of Goa, we think of Catholic Goa. And I remember Frederick once saying that, oh, we Catholics are a minority who pretend like we're the majority. And so I find it highly problematic. So it's really wonderful that you are, your main character is of a Hindu background. So she may be culturally Hindu, maybe she doesn't practice.
Yeah, she doesn't practice, just sort of like me.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about how that is seeping through.
Yeah, so while Tara on the face of it seems like, she could be, most of her friends are Catholics and she has also studied in Bombay, so she's very cosmopolitan and she doesn't look at it as Catholic and Hindu, which does happen a lot in Goa. It does, it's very underlined, you don't realize it. So in her interactions with her work colleagues and when she's outward, she could be anyone. But at home, when she steps home, suddenly she has to be this nice girl and her grandmother has all the usual problems and it's like you're getting so dark or what's this work you do and why you hang around with guys and all of that which happens in a typically traditional Hindu household about working fixed hours.
Yes.
All of that comes into play. So, and then certain things like she doesn't believe in God. I mean, she works so closely with death that she doesn't give a damn. But she still has to go for shikmos and zatras and things you have to do because it's a family thing. So that bit comes in, and how she looks at it because for her it's all rubbish. It's not like she's.
It has no meaning.
It has no meaning.
Apart from like a sense of obligation.
Yeah. It's just.
It's current form.
It's good we finish with the.
Yeah.
This might be a good time for you to read and give us a flavor of the beautiful writing.
Yeah, so I'll just go up to the podium. The mic works, right?
No mic.
Just read
Read
it here.
Okay.
Anyway, I spoke.
It's called Crematorium View Apartments, Warsaw. So this is where Tara lives, used to live in Bombay, and Ruana is very well versed in the place.
Yeah, that's my place I live.
Tara wakes up in a cold sweat. Her dad is outside, knocking on her bedroom window. She slides it open. It is Bonnie. You overslept. It's 9:30. I'm on leave, Dad. Forgot to tell you last night. There's bad news. Did the office call? Is there an emergency? She asked rather hopefully. No. Amita Maushi passed away. Oh, okay. So, she had cancer. Why are they telling us now? She's your aunt, Tara, and you are her only niece. Amita Maushi is her mother's older unmarried sister. Tara, you'll have to go for the funeral. No, I won't go. You go if you want. Tara, one should forgive and forget. Whatever happened is in the past now. Please listen to me. You have to go. Please. Besides, it's Bombay. You miss it, don't you? She ponders for a bit. Okay, I'll go. Just for a day. I'll fly Gokhale's. The cremation is tomorrow morning. Leave by afternoon flight today. Fine. And listen, be civil with everyone. Don't argue. No matter what they say. No matter what. Just keep your mouth shut, okay? Dad, why don't you go? Tara, they've specifically asked for you. Or I wouldn't have bothered. Do they think I'm responsible for this too? Don't be ridiculous, Tara. I think they want to apologize. It sounded like that. But Dad, just do it now. Tara takes the afternoon flight out. On arrival, she heads straight to her mother's maternal home near Opera House at Grant Road. She does the rounds, meeting relatives not seen or spoken to in decades. Picking an opportune moment, she slips away, deciding to return later. In any case, the idea of roaming the city at night, and after all these years, is far more appealing. She hails a taxi and goes to the suburbs. An old Punjabi couple now occupies the third-floor apartment in Versova in Delhi. Mustering enough courage, she rings the doorbell and reintroduces herself. They are simple folks, not very well off. In Bombay, the resale value of an apartment nosedives when an occupant commits suicide, or if there's an unexplained death of a child, or a murder. Natural death in old age is okay. The apartment is then considered inauspicious. Nobody will have it even for free. These folks in their early 60s were the only ones desperate enough to buy their apartment. Besides, after her mother died, her dad just wanted to get rid of it and leave Bombay. They invite her in for a cup of tea, and Tara gets a chance to reminisce. She has always called this building Crematorium View Apartments, never Ocean View Apartments, which is its real name. When she was 10 years old, she painted the word crematorium with oil paint over ocean. She had just learned to spell it. The expensive flats are sea-facing. The less expensive ones face a Hindu crematorium. It was recently converted to an electric one, the old couple informed her. Anyone seeing it for the first time will probably think it's a factory, processing the dead. And fittingly, the building too has received a new coat of paint. The main gate now proudly proclaims its original name. When Tara was a child, the crematorium used the traditional sandalwood and fire method. A favorite pastime in those days was to guess the age of a burning body the closest round figure. She could do this by sniffing the acrid smoke blowing out. On a bad day, when the wind blew their way, her mother's vegetable pulao would taste like a mutton biryani. But wouldn't that be a good day actually? In Saliga, her mother's mutton biryani often tastes like vegetable pulao. When it was a young body on the fire, the smoke felt like soap in her eyes and smelled like chicken puri. With an older body, the tears just would not stop. The smoke, like a mean onion, made her cry non-stop. The aroma was of the mutton chapati left out of the refrigerator all night by mistake, in the middle of a May heat wave. Make that 2 nights. Rancid meat. It happened once when her parents went to Goa, leaving the house in her head. She was in college, old enough to fend for herself, and yet her mother cooked food for 2 weeks and stored it inside the refrigerator in separate melamine containers. A mutton curry was left out to cool on the kitchen platform. Tara was told to refrigerate it. She forgot. 2 days later, she discovered her mistake and tentatively lifted the lid. Badoom! The entire room filled with a familiar smell. That day, the crematorium came home. A group of severely dressed people file out. Who's being grilled? An onion or a chili? Tara is terribly saddened and she can no longer tell. She stands in the balcony, watching kids clambering up and down the massive entrance gate. The main gate opens only for taxis and cars. People have to use a smaller one on its side. She could recognize the peculiar squeaking of the main gate even in her sleep. It symbolized returning home, or going on vacation when it opened wide to let in or let out a luggage-laden taxi. Tara's childhood involved a lot of traveling, mostly between Bombay and Goa, their two homes in those days. Later, as a teenager, she embarked on other expeditions, again between Bombay and Goa, till that fateful day when Bombay shut its doors on her, leaving her stranded in Goa. That day, she stood at the front door, straining to look above the heads of people blocking her path, aware of a dull pain in her uterus. Engrossed in answering her last exam, she had not felt it in college. It throbbed now, in unison with the heartbeat. Amita Maushi spotted her. Bawling hysterically, she dragged Tara into the living room. Pointing to the floor, she screamed at her, "Look what you've done!" Tara saw a body stretched on the floor, covered with blood-soaked white sheet. Her mom's favorite samai was lit beside it. Finding white sheet-covered bodies on their living room was not an unusual sight for Tara. Since they lived opposite a Hindu crematorium, relatives and family friends who were on deathbed were brought to their house to die. It was purely a matter of convenience for everybody. Their Warsaw apartment was the last stop on many an uneventful journey. Tara rarely shed tears on such occasions, it was far too many. Where's mom? She'll get angry that we used her samai. Tara scolded her aunt. I'll go and get a smaller one. Mom's samai is to be used only for her time. Just then she saw her dad seated among the mourners, looking sadder than the occasion demanded. This indiscriminate lending of their house for funerals was slowly taking a toll on her family. She made a mental note to talk to both parents, but later, after everyone had dispersed. Where's mom? She asked her dad this time. That's when Amita Maushi flipped it. Rushing towards Tara, she caught hold of her hair and dragged her, banging her forehead on the floor beside the white sheet-covered body. You murderer, here's your mother. Uncover the face, let Tara see it. Let us see what she's done, screamed Amita Maushi.
That was beautiful. So, I'm really sorry we have run out of time. We don't have time for questions, but please feel free to continue the conversation with Bina outside. Thank you for giving us a sneak preview of your wonderful work and your